We're going to be taking calls coming up here in about 5-6 minutes for our guest. The toll-free number to join us is 1-800-259-9231. Damon Vickers from 9 Points Management and Research. DamonVickers.com is our guest, and I'm going to really enjoy having him on from time to time here on the radio show. Very, very excited to have him here with us. I want to tell you about a few sponsors before we go back to him. One of them is a Cola Blue, the atmospheric water generator. It looks like a water cooler, a high-tech water cooler with no water bottle on the top. It grabs water out of the air, just like evil carbon dioxide that Al Gore wants to tax. Well, water must be evil, too, because it's in our atmosphere. And it grabs it out of the air, puts it through 7 filters, reverse osmosis, you name it, and stores it in an illuminated stainless steel tank in the bottom, 7.5 gallons a day. That's their small unit. They have bigger units. They've got them on hand right now. The Cola Blue 28 is their most economical model. A Cola Blue, ECOLOBLUE.com or 800-691-6043, 800-691-6043. The best, cleanest drinking water you can get anywhere. And lastly, a plug for the online video bookstore. It is the holiday season right now. Don't want to be politically incorrect and say Christmas, but it is Christmas. I'm sorry. I apologize to celebrate Christmas for everybody. I may be arrested in this New World Order. But Fall of the Republic, give the gift of truth this holiday season. Here is the new cover. We had one with Obama on the front, but I like this one better. It's got the Statue of Liberty plunging downward with Obama down here on the bottom. Fall of the Republic, 2-hour, 24-minute film with a bunch of extras, who the bankers are, what their New World Order is, what they're setting up, the police state control grid, the mind control of the television. This is really my best work. Fall of the Republic. Give the gift of truth. This is a film that shatters the left-right paradigm. This is my best work. You can get it free. You can get Fall of the Republic and then get an interview with Aaron Russo, Reflections and Warnings, on DVD. This documentary film, 90 minutes long, absolutely free in one of the combo deals. There's a bunch of other specials at Infowars.com, or ask about the specials when you call 888-253-3139. Again, ladies and gentlemen, that's 888-253-3139, or watch it in super high quality at prisonplanet.tv. And we have a deal through the new year, a Christmas special, 5 months free right now at prisonplanet.tv, where all my films are posted and we simulcast the radio show in living color. I want to thank all the members of prisonplanet.tv. Okay, going back to Damon Vickers. Damon, we were getting in to the New World Order, what's being set up, what you see happening in the future. Tell me, how high do you think gold may go? What's the time frame there? And then you were posing the question to me during the break. Well, we're going to have a New World Order. I mean, you're saying the dollar is pretty much going to collapse, a new system, but who's going to run that New World Order? So, David Vickers, break it down.
Yeah, one of the things that you say, Alex, that I love, amongst other things, you talk about there are those that are kind of conservative clones, and there are a couple of them on the radio, and then there are a number of people that are the other way, and that neither the Democrats nor the Republicans are worth anything. That it's a total fantasy, one way or the other, that we participate in every 4 and 8 years, so it's not working. The other thing is that that there is not, historically, all paper currencies have historically lost all their value. In that, as the problem is that as a population and the governments unfold, basically what they do is we vote in people that just give out all this largesse to the general population. The population wants to continue to pile on all these bennies and benefits and special projects, and it's not just the United States; it's all over the planet. And the way that we do that is it's very easy, since the currency, right, is not based on anything, to just print money. So the currencies get debased. Inevitably the currencies basically get wiped out. There's a kind of a long-term historical cycles that we seem to go in, which is you get this debasement of the currency, and a kind of a laissez-faire environment, which I think the speculation of the last 10 years with the internet and the crazy, real estate bubbles and the, putting Donald Trump back on TV, which was, if there was ever a sign of the New World Order and the sign of the apocalypse, maybe it was Donald coming back to life. And then you get the arrival, you get a disintegration of the government, a disintegration of order, right, of kind of chaos, and then a desperation of the general population, and then the arrival of a focused focal point or a kind of a more of a fascist national kind of a dictatorship, really. You saw it with the arrival of Adolf Hitler, Mussolini, this type of thing. I know it's hard to imagine that we could see anything like that in the United States, but it's a possibility. And so what we need to do is decide whether or not if this is going to be a controlled landing, right, or it's going to be a total, utter crash.
Well, let me throw this in, because Damon Vickers, the whole issue here is, speaking of David Rockefeller and others have stated what their plan is. They have implemented this implosion. Maurice Strong talks about implementing this implosion on its ashes to build the new international architecture. They're telling the public none of this change exists, while the UN Secretary General writes editorials calling for global government and global carbon taxes, so that we're not part of the debate. They're just denying it's even happening, while in serious intellectual debate, it's all being erected and set up right now. And so my problem is, one of their higher level sales pitches they use is to say, oh, the question is, what type of world government, what type of new world order do you want? Well, how about we have a new world order where we don't have a world government? How about we have a new world order where the central bankers engineering these Ponzi schemes go to jail? How about we have a new world order where we have a global declaration of independence and national sovereignty instead of being maneuvered into, well, okay, then do you want to have a say in what type of new world order are we going to have? The elite setting up this system won't even allow a real debate. They ridicule anyone that, Limbaugh, Hannity, they still won't even admit this is happening after decades of saying it doesn't exist. I mean, you understand where I'm going with this. We don't have a say in how this government changes. And I understand it's sold as an evolution and a new world order, but the new world order has been engineered. Go ahead.
Okay. That we can debate things ad infinitum, and yet nothing will get accomplished and nothing will get done. We're all afraid of change. We're all afraid of things arriving that we don't know anything about. But I think we'd have to all agree and admit to ourselves that the present order of things, the order of wiping out fish stocks, the order of wiping out, the resources, and everybody believes that they have the sovereign right to rape and pillage their forests and their the world's nature. Which
I know, but the globalists always say
the environment, or we're all going to die.
I know, but the globalists always say they're doing this to stop it when they are the progenitors of most of it.
Well, I think there's a desire for those. There is a desire for certain people to try to bring order to a world that is entirely disorderly and headed towards what could be unfathomably about suffering. We've got 1 billion people on the planet right now, Alex, that are starving right now. 1 billion of them. That's a very large percentage of the population. We can look in the United States, how many people are, what do they say, 1 out of 5 kids' families are on food stamps right now.
Damon.
Clearly the order that we have right now is not working. We need something new.
I understand that there are a lot of problems and crises, but when I read the Royal Commission on Population, secretly put out by the British government, now declassified, 50 years ago, they said, we're going to create globalization to control the third world. We're going to keep them from industrializing, even though that would clean up the environment and lower their numbers, because we're going to let the people bomb be used as a weapon against them. Just like the UN claims.
We never should have gone into the third world in the first place. And every time that we go in there, we create more havoc. Even the compassionate things that we do in terms of providing aid and care to them only further exacerbates the problem, and it just gets worse and worse.
Well, Damon, let me just say this. I totally understand where you're coming from when you say the existing order is a bunch of criminal pirates raping and pillaging and looting. The problem is
this is where we agree. This is where we agree, Alex.
But it's a two-face. You've got two faces, one here and one on the back. The globalists are the pirates. They then rotate their face around as the saviors, and everything they're proposing just gives them more power and has this frosting, this sugar coating of helping the poor and helping the environment. When, I mean, if they wanted to help the environment, they'd be restricting genetic engineering.
Well, you talked about David Rockefeller, and I know it's convenient to demonize the Rockefellers, okay? But we wouldn't have much of the national park system in the United States if it weren't for Lawrence Rockefeller. There'd be no Teton National Park. There'd be no U.S. Virgin Islands National Park. There'd be no Acadia National Park. There'd be no, I mean, the list goes on and on. These are people that long ago made a tremendous amount of wealth, and then they began to turn their wealth to greater causes in trying to serve humanity. I think all of us would agree that none of us like seeing suffering, and to the extent that we can move the planet towards alleviating human suffering and more balance, I think we're heading in the right direction.